very excited about this update. And the thing is, like, as a romantic girly, you can feel when you're getting to that point where you just can't stop reading. Ugh, we have reached the point. Chapter 26, middle of the night, I reckon. Sirius is waken up by Fisher screaming, blood-curdling screaming. He's like having some kind of episode and he's under some kind of oath, so he can't tell her what's going on in his head, but clearly, something is happening. Now, as someone who does have a degree in social sciences and no other qualifications, it sounds like PTSD. But Sirius demands that Fisher lets her stay with him as a comfort. And when he's about to command her through the oath to leave, she makes it clear, so clear, that if he ever commands her through the oath again, she will never forgive him and make his life a living hell. To which I said out loud upon reading, "Go girl, get it." So she stays tucked behind him during this screaming episode for 4 hours. And to distract him, she starts opening up and telling him about her life in Zilvaran. She talks about how her mother worked for the rebels and they taught her how to fight to survive. How her mother was killed by one of Madra's guardians who used to be one of her clients, but then she refused him and he killed her. How Elroy loved her mother and did his best to take care of her and Hayden. Their home was taken away from them, and they've been sleeping in attics with no real home. After her life story, Fisher says that his mother was killed too, and then they sleep and we get no more detail on that. Chapter 27, there is no talking about last night yet, despite the emotional intimacy that was just everything we wanted. But Sirius and Fisher are starting the morning off with sex, during which he is casually speaking into her mind. Remember when I said yesterday that I think he was speaking into her mind, but it was not clear? Well, this is clear. He bites her, which remember is a bit taboo. He drinks her blood. They're in a state of euphoria. Things have escalated. They have escalated quickly. And as a reader, we love it. We love to see it. When she wakes up, he has breakfast waiting, and she's shocked that he didn't just, leave. Which says a lot about the dynamic that we have picked up on this entire book. First time I read this book, I could not move past the fact that I hated him. Yes, I read this whole part, and I was like, oh, yeah, sure, that's hot. But I was also like, this guy sucks. Second time around, I see how things are going. I like it. All of a sudden, her arms and her hands are covered in new tattoos, and Fisher gives zero insight into them. He's just like, it's alchemist stuff. She doesn't know anything about this world. She's not from here. It's only been a few weeks. Give her something. He's clearly so avoidant. And she asks about his tattoos, which he'll actually answer that. One meaning justice, one meaning vengeance, and the largest meaning sacrifice. Now, to me, when the clear MMC has a giant-ass tattoo that means sacrifice, that's pretty ominous. It doesn't leave me as the reader with a whole lot of hope. Anyway, he hides her tattoos with magic, and he says that she has a month to decide if she wants to keep them or not. Still hasn't told her what they mean. But she also has a bird tattoo on her collarbone from the first time, and she asks if he can take that one back too. And this actually made me so sad because he gets all tense because he thinks that she's pointing to where he bit her, which was this whole scandalous thing, but she wanted it, and he gave into it. The tension is not resolved, and now they have to go. Chapter 28, Sirius has had more and more failed experiments, and now she's just resulted to throwing beakers at the side of a mountain, which sounds pretty great to me. I'm keen. But apparently the Quicksilver is mocking her. She can hear it, and it's being a pain in her ass. Carrion's here, and he's like, hey, why don't you just ask it to meld with other things? And she's like, shut the fuck up, it cannot be that easy. Back in the war room, the shards of Danya's sword are still on the wall, and Sirius is like, hey, why don't we have a chat? So she bribes them. They say that if they can have a song and keep it, she can turn them back into a sword. They come out of the wall, they fall to the floor, Lorith is here, which, may I say, is perfect timing because they wanted a song and now we have a traveling singer. Come back tomorrow for chapter 29.